Hello everyone. I'm here today with my Executive Director of Sales and Leasing, Fritz Freegan, and I wanted him to talk a little bit about Halstead's Open House Index, what it is, how it helps agents and sellers. Hi Fritz.
Hi Senad, how are you doing? Great for having me here, and fire the questions. I'll be happy to answer anything that you would like to know or your audience would like to hear.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. As I just mentioned, Halstead Open House Index has been also getting some media coverage lately, as I understand, and it certainly has helped me and my sellers as well when I send my weekly reports after my own open houses to them. I always revert back and look at the numbers that you so graciously share with us every week. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about how it all came about, and what was the idea behind it, and just the purpose.
So to put it very simply, I started compiling the data in October of 2017, and I saw emails floating around among managers prompting their agents to share the data, because everybody's asking, how was your open house? All the agents operate in darkness a little bit. They either have a great open house, but I'm not sure is it just them, or they have a very poorly visited open house, and I'm not sure is it only them. And there was a kind of motivational part at that point that said, well, why can't we just put something together? So I created very quickly Google form, and I started experimenting by sending it to the whole company internally, to Halstead, to see, can I get any traction from it.
So it started out as a very simple exercise.
Totally simple, so not having no idea where it's going to take me. I wasn't sure I was going to do it on a long-term basis or not. And it started on October 8th, was the first weekend when we did it. And at that time I was able to get 2017. And at that time I was getting maybe 75 to 95 responses, although Halstead was at that time doing, I would say, probably over 200, 250 open houses every single weekend.
Not everybody was participating back then.
Sure. Agents started liking it for two reasons, because I put it in a format that they can easily read, but I also added my own commentary about what I saw. And then what happened, probably by March of 2018, it really stabilized the amount of data that I was getting, probably in the range of 150 to 200 open houses. And then it occurred to me, I think it would be a great thing to get more data, and the only way to get more data was to open it up to the co-brokerage community. Every Sunday around 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. I send email out to every broker who is in our system recording open house by, let's say, 12 o'clock Friday. They get a reminder from me, would you like to participate, whether the Halstead agent or other agents. So to cut a long story short, I started getting in the second half of 2018 on average between 300, I think the record was 410 responses. Right. Since then, the number of subscribers grew to, I just checked today, I think at this point is about 1,450.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
So Fritz, can you talk to us about the, how the number of subscribers, picked up, and what the, recent trends are? What do you see, happening with these numbers?
Now we have a full cycle of one full calendar year, 2018. We have last 3 months of 2017, and as of now, we have first 2 months in 2019. And it's interesting for me is that a certain pattern is repeating itself. Going from December 2017 into first quarter of 2018, suddenly after December 31, there was a sudden bump, and the traffic picked up, attendance picked up at open houses. And now it was fairly surprising to me how strong that was. And I do believe that this kind of intuitively confirms what we kind of knew, that typically November, December is a very slow time of the season.
Right.
People are not focused on looking at real estate, but then with influx of bonuses, and people are now back in town to look for, emboldened with the new flush money from Wall Street and whatnot, they are back in the market. I sent a chart showing the difference in strength of open houses in January and February 2019 versus January, February 2018, and it shows that average during those 2 months was stronger last year. So the market is looking at this, the attendance is weaker.
When I look at the data, I try to also dissect it for myself and figure out, obviously to benefit me and my sellers, which times are best which days, because we are hearing that more and more agents now are trying to do Saturday open houses versus Sunday. Sometimes they do weekly open houses after work. What is your take on that?
First thing is that I'm not tracking weekly open houses, so I cannot comment whether Wednesday or Thursday is good or not. Typically, brokerage common wisdom is that Wednesday is the day to do it, maybe Thursday, and typically will be after 6 o'clock because that's the time when people, or maybe after 5, when people can have time to go after work. But I don't have data on that. On average, every weekend, there are roughly between 5,500 and 6,000 open houses in New York City, because I'm tracking all boroughs, believe it or not.
Right.
The split is roughly 800 open houses on Saturdays and maybe 4,500 to 5,000 open houses on Sunday. Subsequent to your question was, when is the time? What is the best time to do the open house? If I recall correctly, it was the period 12 to 2 and combination of that, 12:30 to 2, 12:30 to 2:30, 12 to 1:30.
So early afternoon.
That's deep. That time has the best overall traffic, gross and per hour.
What I noticed, Fritz, from reading your weekly reports is that there's a significant jump, obviously, when the property first comes on the market. So on the first open house, there's much more attendance, which is natural because obviously it piques buyers' interest. Do you know if there's another reason for it?
There's a segment of people with tools like StreetEasy who create their profiles, and software like StreetEasy alerts them that there's a new apartment on the market, and either they alert the broker or they come to the open house alone. So there's excitement about it because they saw kind of everything else. My numbers are showing between 200 and 300% more traffic on average at the first open house versus at the subsequent open house. And this is the reason why I'm sending this message: price them well. You truly want to start negotiating from your first or first 2 or first 3 open houses to start making.
It's the same thing what I tell all my sellers is price it where it should be, and then you have to take advantage of that momentum when first comes on the market, first open house, first couple of weeks. So that's very important, and all of these numbers obviously support what we've been saying all along.
But for instance, going into the areas in New York, I mean, Brooklyn has been, for last, we are doing this now 50, 60 months, consistently much stronger than Manhattan. On average, the numbers are significantly stronger how much Brooklyn is in, particularly Park Slope, versus anything in Manhattan. But what I would like to kind of point out, and I'm seeing, is that I think it's absolutely critical for brokers to put their open house early in, like probably Monday or Tuesday, I would say, is the best time to put it for the following Sunday. I mean, this is not part of the numbers crunching, but the common sense is don't have the owner in it. Owners should not be there, should not be present during the open house. Make sure that you come early to the open house to make sure that everything is nice, beautiful, maybe some flowers. There's nothing that's going to draw negative attention to it. Our top brokers are bringing some food, some snacks, so it's really comfortable. Making cookies, sharing snacks and stuff like that. Make the open house experience really well planned. If you're doing first open house and you've priced it well, my advice is get assistant, because we see, even in the down market, we see open houses.
More traffic.
We see open houses with 25, 30, 35, 40 people coming at the first open house, even in the market that we're experiencing right now.
There you go. We are going to share some numbers with you. I want to thank Fritz, as always, for his guidance, his leadership, and of course for putting all this together. Halstead's Open House Index.
Thank you, sir.